Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture. Today we're going over a more of a serious conversation slash rant about certain thing that I think that it's meant for a video. Um, so apparently there's been a thing around saying, I started seeing hashtags about like Cardi B saying like hashtag surviving Cardi B and a lot of other things that have been going on with with her about her stealing or sorry, drugging and stealing or robbing things from men. So to get the little background with this, let me start with the background and then kind of go into the thoughts. Um, so um, 3 years ago, a live video on Instagram was posted about how she used to rob and drug people to get where she was to get to survive, and this resurfaced recently. So it resurfaced, and she and pretty much everybody got into it. They saw it, and they had a very huge issue with it, and everybody pretty much the cancel society decided to cancel her and talk about and try to like and pretty much are upset. They weren't happy about the whole drugging and robbing. So they were not okay with it. They wanted her to apologize, and they wanted her to go have jail time, and they even started doing hashtags as hashtag surviving Cardi B, and they also started comparing her to R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. So another more background about it. So she used to work at a club called Club Less or Love and Less, which was in Brooklyn. She used to dance there. That's the only place she danced at. And she also had she would take some guys back to their hotel and mess around with them, and that's where the drugging and robbing would happen. I don't know if it was an ongoing thing. I don't think it's an ongoing thing. I don't think it was like an every single time they went back to the hotel. So with that said, there's your background, and now here's my thoughts. So the thing is that it's very ignorant to come around here and say that she is a exact comparison to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. It actually degrades how these victims of those two people feel. It's making it seem like they are the equivalent of being robbed and drugged. The drug thing happened. They're all equivalent on the drug part. But the intention of the drug part in Cardi B's was to steal some materialistic thing from them. The goal of the drugging with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly was to sexually abuse them, mentally abuse them, physically abuse them, hold them at their will. And after all of that, when they thought that one might tell somebody, they either throw money at them for hush money, and or they would threaten them. And that's something that Cardi B has not done. So there's no comparison. There's a difference between, I think in the end of it, these men that were at the strip club that wanted more than just the stripping apparently, and they wanted to go back to their hotel. Because the thing you gotta remember is that Cardi B lived in Brooklyn. She literally would have her own house. She doesn't need to stay at a hotel. So these people saying that like, oh, she takes them back to her hotel. She didn't have that money at that time. That's not the money that she had. Now she does. She can go to hotels now, but she has her own hotels and bouncing around because she's touring. But if you live in your own city, you're stripping your own city, you don't have to go to hotels. You can literally just go to their hotel because they're probably not living there, or you can go to her house. But she obviously didn't go to her house. But that's so. Anyway, so the thing about that is that it's stupid to have the comparison like that. So it's just like these men lost their watches or their phones or probably their phones, or their money or something like that materialistic they can literally buy back, find another, like replace. They're easily replaceable. And it's just like, you cannot replace somebody's self-esteem, somebody's physical abuse, somebody's dignity, somebody's pride, somebody's life that's been taken away, and possibly their virginity, possibly like these people were physically, emotionally, and sexually abused. Cardi did not do any of those things. She robbed them. Everybody, like, if you don't know about getting robbed before, you're ignorant to think that doesn't happen. This is a very common thing that happens. And it's a very common thing that happens in this type of industry too. In the industry where you have a lot of sleazy guys that want to touch your ass, that want to take advantage of you, want to take you back to your hotel when the whole thing is stripping, is to strip in front of you and then you fucking go home. The extra things is up to the convenience of the two parties, of the people in the parties to do so, and that's completely their right. You know, not saying the drug was right. Don't think that she should have drugged them. I don't think she should have robbed from them. But I also think there's not a comparison between Cosby and R. Kelly towards Cardi B. I don't think that's the same thing. And on top of that, she later on posted about how she didn't feel guilt. She didn't feel proud about what she did, but she wanted to explain. Her point of doing this is because somebody made her feel like that she didn't have success, that she didn't deserve her success. And so she did that live video expressing what she had to do before just to survive and why she deserves this success. So all of that was happening, and then so she posted a thing explaining that and explaining all that stuff, and people were like, it's not an apology, she should go to jail, blah, blah, blah. She's not apologizing, she can only just do better, and that's exactly what she said, and that's all she could really do. She can apologize to the men, but that's none of your fucking business. If she wants to apologize to the men, she can do that, but you don't have the right to tell her what to apologize for, or tell her what to do when you don't know the situation that she was in. You don't have no idea. A lot of people do not have the idea what it's like to be a stripper, what it's like to be a go-go dancer, what it's like to be in that type of industry where you have to sell your body just to make a living. And as a person of me who used to be a go-go dancer, I have lucky not to be abused in that way directly, but I've seen other people that took the advantage, just like, yeah, sure, I gotta suck their dicks to get my own box or to do my own hours, fine, whatever. Other one's like, I'm not fucking doing that. That's against something that I feel I don't want to do. I don't want to be that person. And some people are that person. Some people aren't. But that's not up to you to decide what's right or wrong in that type of situation. And on top of that, she also pointed out that there's rappers out there that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing people since the beginning of rap, and no one has ever called them out. You want to call out Snoop Dogg? You want to call out everybody else that you admire, that you're like, oh my god, they're amazing. 21 Savage, all these other people, these people did stuff to get to where they are. They're not wrong, but the society that we're in a society that repress minorities to where they push them into project and keep them there, and the fact that their only way to make a living is to do crime. That's what they have. That's the luxury that they get. That's all they have. That's all they have. And you're ignorant and you're privileged to feel like that they have the choice to get out and get in, or to get out and stay out, or whatever. It's not the choice. Some people work hard and they're fortunate to get out of it, but some people do work hard and they don't get out of it. Some people don't have that luxury. And it's very stupid for anybody to feel like they have to feel like that they had this choice. Yeah, they had a choice, but the choice was as free as we do today, as middle class, and as our culture that we have today. You know, there's still people that probably do it to this day. It's ignorant to do that, to think that they're the same, to think that this whole thing is a surprise. First of all, we already knew that she had a checkered past. We already knew this. We knew this from the get-go. So to be surprised that she did rob some people, or she did have some like tricks up her sleeve to get where she needs to go in a shitty situation that sometimes isn't all that that wasn't really that great. Yeah, it makes a lot of fucking sense. And it makes and the fact that we brought it back up 3 years later makes me realize that people are envious and petty and trying to tear her down, because I don't know how you dig 3 years back on live videos. I thought they delete after a while, but somebody found some way to do it, and I'm sure maybe there is a way to do it. I don't really know. But if you really had to go 3 years back just to dig something up, the problem is you, it's not her. And obviously she's doing all these things. She's going to be on Netflix. She's really rising above, and she's doing really good. Even like comparison to Nicki Minaj, like getting up to that level, you know, of stardom, and now people want to bring her down. It's a complete cycle. It's a complete cycle. They did it to Lady Gaga, telling that she had a big old dick when she didn't. They did it to everybody. They did it to a lot of people. Everybody gets that little point. My thoughts, my hopes is that Cardi B kind of bounces off of this and like, they're just haters. They're just coming from a thing that's happened a long time ago, and now they want to bring it up, you know? It's ridiculous. And then she said that these people that she dated, she said she dated some of these people, these men, they were consciously willing and aware of this situation. I don't understand what that means, but I think that first of all, I don't think that she needed to say that. I don't think that didn't really make anything better or made it worse. I think it just confused things even more. Because I don't think I don't think you really should rob the person that you're dating. I'm sure they would just let you have it. But yeah, so that's my thoughts. I think the hashtag Cardi, surviving Cardi is very, very ignorant and very degrading to the women who actually have been physically scarred in their lives, when these men have not been physically scarred in their lives, you know? So it's just like, yeah, well, now they don't trust the stripper. Oops. Like, what are you doing in this? Like, the thing, and another thing is that you got to flip on the other side and understand that they're people like, I hope they come forth and they say something so they can put her in jail. And I was like, they're not going to come forth. They probably don't even remember the thing that happened. And if they do, they don't really fucking care. They're like, yeah, that fucking bitch did that to me. What a bitch, you know? You know, they don't, it's replaceable stuff that they can do. What are they going to do? Buy me a new watch? It's, I'm not saying that what she did was wrong, was right. There's no reason for her to do what she was doing, but in the situation she is, it's not too far from the common ground of what really happens in that situation. So my thought is that to tell people is to cool it, get over it, remove the hashtag of surviving Cardi B, because that's just complete disrespect to the victims who actually have been abused way more than these men have lost their watches. So that's my thought on the surviving Cardi. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment below. I'm sure there's going to be some hate inside the comments talking about like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or you must be a Cardi B stan. I'm not a Cardi B stan. I only know like 3 songs from her. But I do see her in a lot of media, and so I do like her as a person. I don't really know anything else. Like, I know her history because it's been out there, but I'm coming from a very unbiased standard, and I'm also coming from experience of my own ways of being a go-go dancer myself. So, anyway, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.